Today in the Amp Vault, the Marshall Origin 20, but modded by Coven Amplifications. So here we have the amp and it's modded by Coven Amplifications. This is a small German company specialized in amp modding. Originally it was a Marshall Origin 20, but Coven basically changed everything except the power section. At least that's what they told me. So let's have a closer look here. We have, of course, the power switch. We have output control that I've set to high because why not? We have an orange LED. Then we have our output section with the master volume and a presence control. Then we have a 3-band EQ, treble, middle, bass. Then we have a tilt EQ. This is not a tilt EQ anymore. This is now a tight control that basically cuts the signal before it goes to the gain section. Then we have a gain control. This is a push-pull poti. And we have 3 mini switches. The gain control, when we pull it, we basically have another sound. Here in this setting, it's more or less a classic JCM 800 setting. And when we pull it, it's more or less a modern approach, a Coven Amp's unique approach. Here we have a boost switch that decides what kind of signal is boosted before the signal hits the tilt control and then the gain stage. This toggles between 3 different clipping diodes, and this one is for the overall approach. It's basically US, UK or scooped setting. So let's have a look at the curve, but don't expect much to see because those are all really subtle EQs. So we have a huge low cut or a huge high boost, and gain is here at 0. When we crank the gain, volume increases. So let's leave it at 2, and when I pull it, I could add some more low frequencies by increasing the gain, but let's push it back. So here you can see a slight boost and another cut. Nothing too drastic here. So the tilt is, the knob is missing. I'll get some later, but it's fully clockwise, so it's on 10. And when we turn it back, it slightly reduces the low frequencies. So bass. Really subtle, as it's normal for Marshall kind of amps. Because this is still a Marshall EQ section, it just has better parts. So here we get a nice scoop in the 500 Hz region. And treble affects this huge peak. Now presence. Very, very subtle. And on the first half it's way more drastic, as you can see. So now the clipping mode. Here it seems to be a bit tighter. And here the voicing switch. Again tighter. Here we have more bass. exaggerate the settings. You can see better what the switch is actually doing. Now let's find out how this thing actually sounds. You know, first of all, I was kind of skeptical because I'm honest here, I trusted my eyes more than I trusted the engineer that's behind Coven Amplifications, and the EQ curve was, there basically were no changes at all. They were so subtle, but I had to play around with it a bit, and then I found out how to set it up to see some changes, and now I understand the amp way better. And well, what can I say? It really sounds cool. It's so tight. I'm actually not very familiar with such a tight amp. I always use a boost when I want to have tightness, and this amp, for can't stretch this enough, for tightness purposes really doesn't need any boost at all. And the sound quality is awesome. The EQ capabilities or the how the range is and the dBs up and down, well, it's a Marshall. What do you expect? It's not a PV active EQ or an angle EQ or whatsoever, but it's really cool. I like that I can scoop the mids and I can reduce the treble if I want to. The gain range is awesome, and the 3 mini switches add a lot of variety to the sound. I can really nail the sound that I want to have, and I can dial in a couple of different unique sounds. That's awesome as well if I want to layer amp sounds, etc. However, this was just a quick review, and there will be a longer live review in the next few days, where I will try the Coven amps Marshall as a pedal platform. And I think here this amp will really shine. But now I'm curious, what do you think about this sound? Do you have an Origin 20 and have you played one? Did you spot or hear any differences? Let me know down in the comment section, because I haven't played an Origin 20 unmodded at all. And with this said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. May the force be with you and have a nice day.